Teachers, what's the most gut-wrenching thing a student has said to you? I teach a self-contained class with mostly non-verbal students. My most verbal student is a first-grade girl named Sarah who mostly just repeats things that she's heard in the past that she finds funny. She isn't able to have conversations at all, but she says some funny things in different situations. Today, she got into a little dispute over some crayons. Sarah was a trendsetter in the class. When she used a specific shade of blue, it became all the riot amongst her peers. She was in the middle of creating a masterpiece when another student swooped in and took the shade of blue she needed to fulfill her creative vision. She got upset and had a tiny outburst in the moment, but eventually it was resolved because we were able to find another crayon of the same shade. The other kid must have been holding a grudge because at lunch that day he decided to get hostile. I knew something was about to go down by the way he stood up. He had this look in his eye. I should have stopped him right then, but I kind of wanted to see what scheme was forming in his head. He walked over to Sarah's table and paused. I was hoping that maybe he was going to take responsibility and apologize in his own way. He raised his flask and extended it Sarah's way. Maybe this was a peace offering? Nope. It was a full frontal attack. Premeditated. Sarah's face furrowed into a frown as he poured his chicken noodle soup into her Hello Kitty lunchbox. Sarah lost it. She grabbed her potatoes with her bare hand and started flinging them all around the classroom. She poured her flask out over the table and started slamming her hands in it, splashing it everywhere. She pegged her nemesis with about 3 baby carrots. All of this before anyone had any grasp of the situation. I stepped in as fast as I could and managed to calm Sarah down. I had failed her. No doubt. I felt terrible. However, I believe I have a responsibility to prepare these young people for the world they are going to enter. We put a hard focus on personal accountability. While it hurt me to do it, I had to make Sarah clean up her own mess. While it was justified and I understood it, her outlash was something that couldn't fly. I reprimanded the kid, of course. But after I was done, I asked Sarah to grab some paper towels from the bathroom. She looked at me with fire in her eyes and said, "Mom doesn't love you." I've been around Sarah's family my whole life. I played baseball with her older brother. I was a drum instructor for her older sister when I was in college, and I was the youth pastor for her other sister and other brother. When I knew them, all of the kids seemed happy. It ripped my heart to pieces to know that one of them could have said this to her. I know deep down that every member of that family is a good person. She could have very well heard it on TV or from someone on the street. Still, it's baffling to think about how impactful and formative even a little slip of the tongue can be. Not just for people with developmental issues, but for all kids. I've heard a lot of foul things in my time as a teacher. Kids can be absolutely brutal to each other. However, I think it took Sarah's little outburst for me to finally learn my lesson about empathy.